comes to home ownership, when it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to how do we rebuild the Black family structure, rebuilding that village, how do we get back into the community so that we can have structure going forward. Because as you guys know, 70 to 80% of Black households are led by Black women. We obviously know that causes a severe problem when it comes to our children, who's raising them, when it comes to economics, building wealth, building generational wealth, etc. Now, what that means is the vast majority of them are renting. So the home ownership rate is at 75% white communities, only almost 40% in Black communities. So we're in a situation where we are not in a position where we're actually building generational wealth all across this country, especially right here in the city of Chicago, and that has to change. So when we talk about building generational wealth, the first thing is being a homeowner. And if you don't own a piece of real estate, I've never owned a piece of real estate, you don't understand what it means to be able to build generational wealth, have something to pass down or equity to take out of so that you can invest back into your community. Being a homeowner is so important. And that's what we do at My Turn to Home, is we help folks from A to Z get into home ownership. So first of all, let me thank my team, the amazing people that you see, Shanaze, Chrissy, and Africa Port. Y'all pop it up for them. My chief of staff will be walking in momentarily with the microphone and stuff so we have some amplified sound. But let me say why it was important to start this Man on a Mission Mondays. It was important because over the last few months, we've done $5 million in pre-approvals and loans and mortgages. Only one of those people were a man. Just one. At all. So our testimonies and our folks that we working with, they all okay. And so it was, but we understand why. We understand that there are systemic problems that from many years on down, we understand that folks are incarcerated. We know folks are scared because they have been incarcerated, or they may have child support, or we know it's a pretty of situations. And that's what this is about, is to say, what is the situations that we're going through? How do we step up and work together to build the communities that we want to see? And how do we progress our communities as men and stepping up and doing that? And the barbershop just happened to be the best place to have that conversation. So can we clap it up for this amazing barbershop? Dane Show. What is the name of Dane Show? The Dana Dane Show. The Dana Dane Show. And you know, I get a lot of good reviews, I heard. And your mom is a big supporter, you know what I'm saying now. No, but I definitely appreciate this amazing barbershop for having us. One more hand clap for that. Our last barbershop tours, it has been huge. It has been a movement all across the city, barbershop to barbershop. And we've had, last week, our youngest person was 19, all the way up to 71. And we had, I think, 25 people in the room. So every week we bring a different group of men together all throughout these barbershops to have these conversations. 2 barbershops ago, so a few weeks ago, we were in Roseland. And we had an elder there, 70 years old, who dropped a whole bunch of wisdom. It was just amazing. He works in the prisons and just an amazing mentor for many, right? That next week he passed away. Wow. And so his last thing that he did was come into one of these barbershops, just like this, and give his wisdom. And so, Baba Yusufu, we lift your name up last week and this week as well, and we will always remember him for that. All right. So I want to turn it over to our project manager, Africa Porter. We're gonna bring us up for a piece, and then we're gonna get started here with questions short.
I can't comment and spend your Monday night with that. This is very important. think it's only befitting that we acknowledge Mr. Green for, at a very young age, he decided to shut down a lot of Chase banks because they were giving out bad loans to Black people. But because of his efforts and his work, that's how he was able to get that money and start this company. So that is to be noted. Ways of understanding as it pertains to the Black people. So without further ado, I want us to open up with a poet who came from very far. Won't you welcome our brother, Kente.
I won't be long, y'all. My heart is truly full. I'm probably done over prepared, so I know I ain't gonna get through half this stuff. So y'all just bear with your boy. Real quick, you all. And they say
thank you.
Hey, Kente, can I just come to this one? Okay. Thank you. I have my interruptions. Thank you so much.
Hey, y'all, they say it's going up on a Monday. Hey, real quick. And they say average mindsets would want us to believe that Friday is the best day of the week. But looking at this circle, and according to Mr. Green in Africa, I would dare to say that Monday is the top of the week, is to get excited about. So I'm just pretty excited to be in y'all presence, man. That was heavy with that piece on how he said the brother was here the last week and now he's not with us no more. I actually met that brother the first time years ago in the Safety Foundation in youth department. Real quick, you all, if you don't remember nothing else I'll say today, man, it's going to be very important that we build our relationship with your creator. Man, what's the order? God, man, woman, child. I would dare to say that the most important thing that we could do as men is to keep our families lifted before the creator. Hey, I'm just honored to be in you all's presence, you all. Real quick, when I say yeah, I'm on, y'all say a mission, man. Yeah, I'm on a mission, man. Yeah, I'm on a mission, man. When I say yeah, I'm on, y'all say a mission, man. Yeah, I'm on a mission, man. Yeah, I'm on a mission. All right, real quick, I won't be long. I'm just getting through this stuff, you all. Hey, here's a quote by Lamborghini. They say, we don't make commercials because our target audience is not sitting around all day watching TV. That's Lamborghini. They say we don't make commercials because our target audience is not sitting around all day watching TV. Real quick, here's the affirmation. If you all can repeat after me by saying, I love myself.
I love myself.
I believe in myself.
I believe in myself.
I will watch what I say and do.
I will watch what I say and do.
Because I respect myself.
Because I respect myself.
Because inside of me, I hold the key.
I hold the key.
That will unlock the door
Into
my success.
my success.
I truly and honestly, without a shadow of a doubt, love myself. Y'all come with me. I'm just let y'all know Miss Jones told her 6th husband. I'm not gonna be before you much longer, okay? If I had to leave something behind, I'm gonna get into the more called the king of me, and I'm so much better. I'm about to stay on real quick, if I had to leave something behind, it would be the men code. The men code. So how can we, what's the code for the man? So this is just my opinion, y'all just do what you want to do with that thing. But so code, C stands for character. So it's an honor to be in front of the image of God right now. I'm talking to the ladies too. It's an honor to be in front of the image of God. And so let me even kick that thing off with this scripture by saying, he who pursues righteousness and love will find life, prosperity, and honor. Men, once again, if you remember nothing else I'll say, the scripture says, Proverbs 21:21, that he or she who pursues righteousness and love will find life, prosperity, and honor. So real quick, man code. What's the code? C, character. Hey y'all, according to Genesis 26, we was made out of the very image of God, man. What does that mean? His character. Look, what they say, your talent and all that can get you up there, but what they keep on telling your character. And we ain't put no judgment on nobody. But your character, man. will keep you places. You know, so what does character look like? Men of integrity. You know what I'm saying? Being a man of just integrity, all that good stuff. Y'all got that thing. Character, man. Character. Hey, optimistic. We're talking about the man code now. If we're gonna make it in this life, we need the code. So we got character. Be optimistic, man. We know we living in this world, man. All this old negativity, everybody down, everybody worrying. And what God say? Do not worry. I'm God. I own the earth. And people running around here worried, all stressed out. We know we're gonna get back to the fundamentals of this life and start really believing God, man. When He say, I got you. Hey, listen, y'all. Somebody said a couple days ago, somebody got up this morning. With something very important to do. I mean, somebody yesterday, bottom line, they was expecting to wake up this morning because they had something important to do today. But they did not make it, y'all. So real quick, I would get a pause for the cause. Can we give God a hand praise just for another day of life? Yeah, they had something important to do today. But they didn't even wake up this morning, man. So let's start keeping that stuff in the front of our minds when we get up in the morning. Just thanking the Father, and let's go every day. We're not perfect. Every day we're just striving to get better and better and better, man. That's it. So as I'm closing, y'all, discipline, man. Yeah, I'm working on all this stuff myself. This stuff matters, man. Discipline. Suffer the price of discipline or suffer the price of regret. Men, discipline is not no punishment. We know discipline is training. And especially as the men, we can all discipline ourselves in whatever area you know. You know the area that you're in. You know, hey, real quick. And one area I'm going to challenge you all real quick. One area I'm going to challenge y'all in is discipline yourself, as Green said, with the credit, with your housing piece. I'm going to just add to that with your diet. God has made me a champion for health. I went vegan, and I see it's important. That thing, it helps me. And I'm out here turning up with the schools and stuff. I got the energy. Because I'm performing doing high knees around here. Crazy. So that discipline, man, is very powerful. And then excellence. Hey, I was in a school, Barton Elementary, doing SEL. I saw a quote on there. It said, excellence is the standard today and tomorrow. I said, oh, that thing was good to me. Hey, y'all, so let's take that thing on. Excellence, brothers, is the standard today and tomorrow for your life. Okay? So let's start on that, man. I'm gonna just get into this poem and I'm done. It's called The King in Me. This is in my book. It's called The King in Me. And so it just says, the King in me speaks to the King in you. As together we analyze and realize the true statement that life is worth fighting for. The question then must be answered, men. What are we fighting for? Are brothers fighting for a share of the market stock Green? Or are we fighting for it's my turn to serve loose square position on the block? Are brothers fighting for some land of real estate Green? Or are we fighting because we seem to love to hate? Don't get caught up in somebody else's gift and forget you, Green. What are we fighting for, the present or the future? Nowadays, brothers don't want to box no more. They would rather shoot you and miss. Now we have to comfort baby boy mother because her baby was just added to the CPS students murder list. Some black men quick to risk their life for the street. But when it comes to real issues like our children's educational system, we don't speak. Stand up, warriors. We were made by God to be strong, not weak. And if that man don't work, that man don't eat. So many brothers thinking backwards while life is moving ahead. Brothers walking around physically existing, but mentally dead. I'm reminded by our brother Marcus Garvey, who challenged us by saying, "Up, you mighty nation, accomplish what you will." How can some of the black man fight for our race when all he want to do is pop a pill? Keep it real, man. No more excuses. Either you making it happen or you're in the way. Life has a balance, my brothers. There is a time for work and a time for play. The problem is, especially in Chicago, we have too many grown men playing games. People ask you what you bring into life. You say nothing so much, it became your name. Are you a lame? I mean, physically handicapped? We must fight for family and self. Black man, take care of your health. Brothers chain smoking squares like cancer a joke, not knowing that nicotine is the 21st century dope. How can you keep hope alive? Come here. How can you keep hope alive when you killing your inside? Life can get cold in the summer, but always fair. Everything is worth the fight, even the air. I dare you to be great. It's better to be an hour early than a minute late. So many black men getting locked up. Soon they're gonna create a penitentiary state. That might have went on y'all head. And if I said so many black men getting locked up, soon they're gonna create a penitentiary state. Anything to make $1 off our backs. In 2022, grown men fighting over cigarette packs, fighting over a weed sack. Switch the fight mentally to the government for all that tax, Black. Marvin Gaye said, wake up. Yeah, we must keep a positive vision and a clear sight. Enough getting off track going left. It's time to get life right. No more dark living. You deserve the light. We're gonna be all right. I said we're gonna be all right. As men, we must fight to maintain a level head. Don't let nobody keep throwing you off. When you do, you go from hard to soft. Now your new name, Scotch. Men nowadays tearing apart quicker than tissue. As men, we were created to solve the issue. We have been allowed dominion from birth. Hey brothers, we one of God's favorites, baby. He created with the earth. So be first, black man. Set the pace and lead. Stop acting like every month you bleed. Grow, learn, and read. Know that who you are is found in our seed. So keep your body and mind healthy. We don't want to just be rich, but wealthy. Be the king you were created to be. I call out the king inside of you and me. Grow through every obstacle, learn from your mistakes, and make it happen every morning, noon, and night. Keep your head up, king, because your life is worth the fight. And y'all, I say, black boys rising, the system can't defeat. We on that Tupac rose from the concrete. We won't be sorry about it like Bobby. Faithful husband mindset, we're now on married. Examples of greatness, you can do it too. Go and ask Malcolm Little Shorty what to do. Life changed with the X. So little brothers, KMB, you know, it's coming up on projects. You are not rejects. You a black star. God got your future, he gonna show you who you are. Yes, it's educator that, so you must learn daily. You can go to college as Alexander Haley. At 15, living your dream. You can be great even when it don't seem. Set big goals, shoot for the star. You can have your own school like Paul Dunbar. You can make it happen like George W. Carver. We all make mistakes. Leave it in the past. Now we hitting on purpose just like off the ash. Know that every day counts, every day is new. Greatness all in your blood, just ask Charles Drew. Make it do what it do, eat them knowledge like it's lunch. And the Nobel Peace Prize go to Mr. Ralph Bunch. Color to receive that honor. Black boys can be president like Obama. Speak life with the words, write life through the pen. Pro-living type of writer like James Baldwin. Never say never, we think mega ever. Don't be a drug dealer, be another door spiller. You can have many talent like Louis Armstrong. Don't quit on life, just keep holding on. Just keep thinking big. Vision on sky. Black boys will live, black youth must try. Black boys will live, black youth must try. Even freedom got hot. As Dred Scott. You can win the prize, brother, dip your faith now. Gonna accomplish what you will. We honor Emmett Till and thank God for them Panthers you renewed by the seal. Don't forget Chairman Fred, who helped us go ahead. They said him too powerful. Don't shoot him dead. More love should be spread. Injustice is a sign. Mr. Benjamin Banneker, I think it's about time for all black people to love self, no matter how dark. Hey, brothers, y'all got unlimited opportunity. You don't believe me? Go and ask Kenneth Clark. Thank you.
What's going on? Give it up. That's what I'm talking about right there. Give up to Mr. Kente. We enjoyed you, King. We enjoyed you, King. He did that. The levels of energy we need to kick off. Let me tell you, we're about to get started. We're going to get into this man talk real quick. Please respect the time. 1 minute of peace on the mic. Is that all right with everybody? Is that all right with everybody? All right, quick. Let's ask the first question. Does it hurt to be a man? Does it hurt to be a man? Who want to take that? Me.
He said, does it hurt to be a man?
Help somebody.
Okay. It hurts in some small shape or fashion, but with men, you're a man before you're anything. That's what counts the most. From a gang to anything, you're a man. So we go through trials and tribulations all day. We set to go through trials and tribulations. That's what we set for, to be leaders. So it hurt to be a man. It feels good to be a man, a black man, because we stand against everything that's going against us now. So you know that's the great thing about us right now. So we just trying to keep hope alive, you know. I'm gonna continue to keep hope alive.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Anybody else want to take that before we move on? Go ahead, Mr. T.O.
The only thing I can say, I would simple answer, it shouldn't hurt to be a man. I don't see how we can even ask a question like that, really, because a man is a man. You're born a man. It is in your DNA. That's it. And that's all. So even though we struggle, don't get me wrong, we go through changes, but that's what men go through in life, all the way since the beginning of time. So only thing I can say is a man is a man. And it doesn't hurt me to be a man.
Good stuff. I like it. I like
I'm trying
it.
to rap a little bit like the brother.
I'll move on to the next question. What's the hardest part of being a black man? For you, your day-to-day activities, what is the hardest part of being a black man?
The hardest part of being a black man is being stereotyped. And we got to understand the stereotype of conspiracy against black boys. Going back from when they predict that in the second or third grade that we will fail from what's called from public schools to prisons to from the pipelines to the prisons, public schools. And we got to understand it's all set up by design. So at the end of the day, you know, as being a black man, going through that, we always are being stereotyped. We got to understand that we are more than a conqueror. We're made out of God, image, and likeness. We all are connected to God. We all are gods. So once we understand and know whose we are and our purpose, then we can understand and know that all this is a big stereotype. That's not true. Because if you're greatness, that's what you are.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Somebody else want to take that over here? You good? All right.
And real quick, just to add on to my brother, God is the great equalizer, especially when it comes to race. Unfortunately, we still live in this old confused, sick world with racism and people with these white folk with this superior mindset. That's a devil's mindset. Think you better than God's child. Who are you to call me a minority? Man, stop playing with me. The black folk got the nerve to be calling ourselves minority. Man, this stuff is wordplay, man. You know, so I thank God for being the great equalizer, especially when it comes to race. So I don't have to feel inferior around you, white person. We all done been there. You did, but we don't have to feel that, especially when we serve God. Stop playing with me.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about.
I was gonna say as far as black man, but you know, the black community in general, we tend to deal with a lot of injustice and corruption.
Exactly.
I myself went through a lot of corruption just recently, so and I didn't like it, but you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna keep fighting.
That's right. That's right.
I'm gonna give it to you. The reason I asked this question, what's the hardest part of being a black man? Because every day when you wake up, when you take a nap, when you take a shower, when you go to whatever you being attacked from when the sun goes down to when the sun raises. And sometimes you have a conflict of interest. And it's like you're going back and forth because it's how would I put it? I would call it it's a love-hate relationship with this black skin. Follow me. And I know it sounds crazy, but a lot of doors are not open because of your black skin. When them police lights go, I don't care what nobody said. When a police officer pull up behind you and them lights go on, we all clench up. And 9 times out of 10 in your mind, you're like, this can go south, this can go left real quick. So that's my question for you when I ask you the question of what's the hardest part? You're not getting finances from the banks like everybody else is getting finances from the bank. The systematic oppression is real. So I'm asking this question, what is the hardest part for you personally as a man when being black is concerned? Not being ashamed, but this is a hurdle I deal with on an everyday basis.
You wanna go? Go ahead. One time real quick. It's a fear factor. That's the biggest thing, the fear factor. And no, God said don't fear anything. That's the problem. What you just said, you said that the police can get behind you. That's a fear factor. And guess what? He gonna bring that fear to you. You keep on playing that game. Oh, man, I'm spooked. Okay, yeah, he gonna bring it to you. Yeah, lock up time. Yeah, at that time because you put that fear into your equation. You see what I'm saying? That's what the problem is. You gotta overcome obstacles. You gotta hit it dead on. You can't keep running. If you keep on running, you sooner or later will hit the brick wall. That's a proven fact.
You know what? I think that one of the hardest things about being a black man is raising children.
Woo, say that.
Because we all survive, right? And we grow up and we hope to survive. We in survival mode. And we hope that we can be able to make money and yada yada and try to get ourselves somewhere. But then when you bring children in the world, it's a whole nother ballgame. And knowing that you know, there's a lot of damage that have happened in the Black community. So it's so hard building family structure. It's so hard choosing somebody to build a family with. And making sure that those kids have everything that they need growing up so that they don't go through what you went through. And so it becomes 10 times harder when you have children, especially when you have other Black males. I got 3 boys. And so knowing I've been through a lot of the different things that they're going to experience, hopefully not as I did, but knowing that you got to bring up more men into a society that you know that has so much systemic oppression.
Yeah.
A society where, you know, they go into schools and there's not even social emotional learning for them to express themselves. Or they in the classroom with 30 kids in the classroom, or they go into a community with other guys who can steer them in another direction. Trying to make sure and be the protector and put in all of the variables in place to raise other Black men, I think is the hardest thing for me. And so that's why my community is at the level that it is.
Good stuff, good stuff. Anybody else want to take that question, Parks? Go ahead.
1, 2. Speaking from experience, testing. Speaking from experience and working in the school system, being a teacher, principal, and a coach of football, basketball.
He's my principal.
One thing I noticed was coaching, when a player got injured, I would look at the parents first. And the mothers would jump up immediately and I would say, no, I'll go check on the child. If I need you, I'll call you. Let him learn how to get up on his own 2 feet.
Wow.
So teaching, right off the bat that let this young man stand up. Now, where I am today, I'm at Cook County Jail. I see more grandmothers and mothers coming in to get property from men. Because they're men, 18 and over, they're men. And it shouldn't be like that. And one thing I remember as a kid playing Jackie Robinson, Little League Baseball, 8 years old, our coach said, your mother cannot teach you how to piss. At 8 years old, we didn't understand it. When I got older, I realized women use the bathroom differently from men. Sometimes you need a man to take the example and the lead and show you, as a man and a young man, what you need to do. Which is perfect when you said about the schools, the way I dress, the way I act, the way I, talk and move. As my man mentioned in his poetry earlier, that sets the tone, what we're bringing up, and what our future looks like. So.
Good stuff. Give a round of applause. That's good stuff right there. I'm gonna move on to the next question. I'm sorry, King. How is tradition killing the Black family? How is tradition killing the Black family? Get to someone I haven't heard from.
Once again, how is tradition killing the Black family?
Greetings, brothers. Peace to everyone. Yeah, tradition is killing our
culture and our people because we don't value and archive what's important. What's happening is that we're being shown by others how to value what we should be valuing ourselves. And unfortunately, one of the things that happens is that we're supposed to be working on generational wealth, but they've tricked us into having generational property. And one of the things that is the reason behind that is because they've taken away the knowledge, not only of ourselves, but of our ancestors. And we really don't know who's responsible for doing great things in our societies, let alone being able to identify those with like us. So, you know, I do a lot of studying on our history and what we call the diaspora that we've been living here. But when you find out somebody like Alexander Hamilton was Black, wow. I mean, and I can name like all kind of people, but of course you know about Beethoven. I was reading and doing some studying the other day. Can't remember exactly who it was, but it's another Da Vinci. When they say Leonardo da Vinci, you know, they don't let you know that that man had some African blood in him.
Yeah.
So by us not being able to preserve and archive our own, we're accepting the other images that people are putting out for us and calling it true, but without us knowing the truth, we live in a lie all the time. Peace to the God.
Give it up for the brother. Give it up for the brother.
Fall in, come on in. Good job. We're coming on right back. These icons in the building. These icons in the building. All right. I want to hand it off to as many men as I can before I hand it off to a lady. And it's an important reason why I want to hand it off. I'm gonna give it to you. How is tradition killing the Black family? Tradition. Go ahead, Mr. T.O.
I'll make it quick again. I just think a lack of tradition is killing us now, a lack of tradition. Okay. You know, our forefathers come from down south and migrated to the north. We had tradition. We had family traditions.
Yeah.
When we got to the north, we kind of like compromise. We compromised a little bit as far as tradition, right? Because there was a time when 70% of the fathers weren't in the household.
Wow.
Now we got a time when 70% of the fathers are absent in the household. Okay. That doesn't mean that women are not doing a decent job. Yeah. But the reality is that we've lost some of our traditions based on capitalism too. Because it's all about, we got to look out for our individual selves instead of our forefathers are more like looking out for collective selves. So we didn't get into a mindset, it's just about me and my family. And I understand that too, because it's hardship out here. We want your family to do well, you know. But I think there's a lack of tradition that we face with right now because it's that nuclear type of family mindset. Yeah. It's all about me. Yeah. All right.
Well, you know, to touch on what we talked about before, there's no cultural foundation. And I think where we are, and it really is a mixture of what everybody kind of said, when you talk about how they stripped us from who we are in the first place. And so there is no cultural foundation. And so there is no, he my brother because of, or we connect in this culture because,
you know, and we had to create our own cultures. It's hip hop culture, right? And essentially, we don't have no cultural foundation of how we raise children, how Black neighborhoods are supposed to come up. And that's what's missing. So we got to really start to come together to talk about what building community look like, what building that village looks like. Becoming homeowners. Now what, right? Matter of fact, when I buy a house on the block, Don need to buy next to me. Crucial Conflict need to buy next to me. Now we're going to build a park. Now we're going to build a community center. Like, we have to build real community. We can't just say, like, when we talk about, yeah, I can put everybody in the home today, right? That's what we do. We build homeowners. But what else after that? You gonna go to Pullman, you gonna go to Inglewood, you gonna go here, you gonna go here, but we're not actually building what can sustain that community. We all need to do it together as a collective, which is why conversations like this is important all over the city. And how do we bring a Black man to step up and build out what that foundation looks like?
This neighborhood is a great example of what we all need for our kids. Yep.
Gotcha. And the reason I ask that question is because we still talking about the tooth fairy. I mean, this is what we bringing our kids up on, imagination. This is a real world. They 14, 15, still talking about Santa Claus. As a Black man, you've been on that job all day, taking all types of disrespect, working hard, all to come home, and they thinking white Santa. If that ain't crazy, I don't know what is.
That's a whole lot.
So my question is the world lying to our kids?
Yeah, we learned a lot. No.
Or are we lying to our kids?
Yeah, they program us to lie. Like, program, no question.
Because we ain't got no
We just tell the truth.
So they give us their culture.
You bought that, you bought that.
Gotcha.
You bought that for your child, you bought that for your child.
Yeah.
Ain't other way around. You should say this chunky cheeseburger, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We still
I don't know.
So what happens,
I ain't there about nothing.
Now,
Well, speaking on kids, every kid should have an imagination, but it should be a time period where you take them from that imagination.
that's it.
Okay. And then I like what Devon said about generational wealth, tradition in the family. Meaning this, I'll give you a perfect example of myself. Tradition in the family would tell your child to go to school, get an education, right? Then with the education, get a job, right? So I did that. Went to school, went to college, got a job. And then I was working with one of my partners, and because I'm a retired police officer, okay. And I was sitting in the car. I was tired. I got out that van. I tell you, man, you need something. I tell you some things how to get around some stuff. So it's some insight. So anyway, I'm sitting in the car with one of my partners. He pulled up to his 2-flat building. He come out, took out the money he just got from his rent. I was like, man, that's some cool ass shit, right? And I'm like, hey, turn me on to this, because my mother or father or other man that I've been around in sports never told me about how to be successful as far as that was concerned. So I thought that was cool. So I went to my mother and I asked her, I said, hey, can you refinance the house so you can give me a down payment so I could put on this building I'm looking at? She told me no. She was like, how am I gonna get my money back? I said, well, when we close, because I'm doing my research. And when I close, I'll give you the money back, because you get at closing from the rents and everything, and I give you the money back. I just needed some help. So we don't get the help within our family because they don't understand how it works. I had to start working overtime, building that down payment up, getting my credit straight. And I bought my first property at 97. And I went on from there and got 40 units.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not 40 buildings.
Yeah.
I owned 40 units. I was working in Inglewood at the time. And I had all three corners on 66 and 9. And when I bought one building from this lady, she said, well, I got a 10-unit across the street. You want that? I said, yeah. Then the guy who had a 4-unit on the other corner, he said, I said, you buying buildings over here. Then I bought that one. Then one of my sergeants saw me buying buildings. I bought the one on Bishop, 66 and Bishop. So this is how you become like-minded, understanding. And so now I know what to give my son as additional to help him out. Because I already found my, refinance my house, well, if I ain't got the money to get him for a down payment so he gets started or saving, so I understand it now and I understand. But the thing about it is this, and I tell Africa this, and I said, y'all, I said, tell Jamal this, since he got my turn on. Y'all help people out with y'all credit. You help people out getting the house financing, and when they get a house, you celebrate, you give them a drink, right? But you don't tell them how to pay it off. And I can do that. I can tell you how to pay it off. That's a topic for another time.
Now, you want to get this perspective from, and usually this is a male platform, but I gotta allow my women to take a part of this question. The reason why is because they're at home with the kids while we're out working. And we need to understand. I don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's a long time ago. I'm gonna be disrespectful. I'm just saying. I got you. So, but what are we reinstilling? What are the principles that we reinstilling in a household? Are we still believing in, we go to a black church, but we see white Jesus on all of them? I mean, when do we get to a point where it makes sense? Like nothing makes sense anymore. We're just doing it just to do it. So, for the queen, if you can answer the question about tradition, real quick. All right. Go ahead.
All right, on the topic that y'all speaking of, honestly, I think that people come from so many different walks of life.
Yeah.
And being self-institutionalized.
Yeah.
Kind of separates us as brothers. Because guys like me, I grew up around big-time drug dealers, but I wasn't no big-time drug dealer. But I was still cool with the big-time drug dealers, you know what I mean? Like, I still had other aspirations and things and doing other stuff, but I still was next to criminals, and became a criminal, and actually enjoyed being a criminal.
That's the old
I was gonna say why I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because I misled myself. Like it wasn't nobody that misled me. I misled myself. I got comfortable with seeing things the way they were, and I thought that was the way it was supposed to be. This is how things gonna turn out. And after about 700 obituaries, from 14 years old to 47, you know what I'm saying? After a trough of obituaries and getting away with crimes, that's what I'm gonna say, getting away with bad things, for several years, and then to get incarcerated for no reason. I came back out of jail different. I said, I'm a doctor. Gotta do something different. I said, God, if you let me rap, I won't do nothing else. I'm still rapping. So it takes guys like us that admit to being stupid. Admit to being stupid. That'll move or motivate the modern day stupid. If we run in groups of truth Like, hey, all us did, man. And then you tell us we got in trouble just like you. He did time, he did 25. He did this, he did, yeah, man, because of we was like you. If it was more of us that rode in groups and went and rallied everywhere about it, because, like the next is, I respect, Mr. Farrakhan so much, man. When he speak, thousands arrive. Thousands arrive.
COVID don't even matter.
It don't matter because he don't fear that. Like you say, don't take those people's vaccines.
Yeah.
And we ain't. We like he said yesterday. Forgive me for saying ain't. We are not. Yeah,
We always said yesterday.
We all got those leader mentality because we all in here speaking together and no one's disrespectful. Everybody feels great amongst one another. It's more men like us that exist. We just got to start connecting with the other righteous people, other righteous people, and the other righteous people, and we can go and make a difference with all our youth that's losing. Man, I think coming together, what y'all doing right now, the barbershop ain't nowhere better to talk than the barbershop. So this is the beginning of a futuristic fix. You know what I'm saying? Gatherings at all moments. And we have a place out west, you know what I'm saying, for these type of situations. My friend right here, Mr. Anthony Jones, he goes by the name of AJ Styles. He owns a small center and also studio record place for people to record records and different things of this nature. He has a party bus. So, it ain't about the party that's in the bus. It's about the people we put in there. And we'll bring other men to come and converse and learn and talk. And you all are welcome to come out where we at and converse with brothers on the west side too, because they need a lot of this too. I appreciate y'all letting me speak, man. Thank y'all. You know what I'm saying? And thank y'all for letting me in. Let me get the Bible do her thing.
But I'm gonna say this: tradition is killing us.
Come on.
It's killing not only us, and that's the point I'm making. When are we going to get back to our tradition, if we even know what our tradition is? But I'm gonna get back to that in one moment. Go ahead, Mr. Green.
Let me just say, let me first say to his point when he said that they've been stupid. Let me say that's incorrect. Not stupid. We are a product, and we were born into generational poverty, born into generational traumas, born into systemic oppression. So it is all by design that folks are in survival mode.
Yeah, come on.
I talk about it each and every day. When I'm on the stage and I'm fighting Lori, or whatever the case is, and they talking about suing the gangs and yada, yada, yada. Y'all don't really understand, obviously, what's going on in these neighborhoods.
Come on, break it down.
And the reality of the situation is that if we don't start to step up and come together,
Come on.
if we don't start to step up as men and grab young men and say, let me show you a legal path. I do it every day.
Come on.
I got mentees that have been shot by other people and by police that I grabbed, and they was able to see a different world. We have that ability. They think somehow this just, the drug game is saturated. I mean, you can make millions of dollars in the drug game. Everybody's trying to be, them days ain't even it no more. That's why they out there talking about we trying to sue the gangs. Who y'all suing? It's a click on every block.
Stop.
And they ain't got $1 million a click.
Better hush up now.
I mean, I don't understand. So if we don't start stepping up, man, and building the communities that we need to see and grabbing these young guys, that's what this platform is about. Since we started this, we probably had a couple hundred Black men around the city of Chicago be a part of these conversations. And we're going to do this even bigger. We're gonna take this to conferences. He said Party Buzz, I own Greyhounds. So we can take trips. We wanna grab the kids. We wanna go do some fishing. You feel me? Have conversations like intimately so that we can start to figure out how do we rebuild our city. That's what this is about. That's what this platform is about, is bringing all the guys right here. Obviously, all y'all here for a reason. And y'all all have something to offer.
Right. I just want to say this real quick. You know, I think we just, one suggestion anyway to everybody, we just need one black nation, man. You know, from the age of 5 years old to 90 years old, everybody black need to be on the same page. Simple as that, my opinion. You know, I grew up in the Hero on the Projects, Cold Harbor, man. You know that. That's one of my brothers there. So what I'm saying, because I don't really struggle with a lot of issues with my people. Every now and then you might have some jealous people that you run across.
Talk about that.
Everywhere I go, man, we brothers. I don't give a, I ain't gonna say it.
Talk about it.
You know. That's just the way it is. I'm just saying, look, I don't really give a fuck about none of those bullshit. We should all just be one people. There should be an oath that a black man has to read before he walk out his front door. There should be an oath at the front door from the age of 5 to 9, that we all on the same page. Once we do that, we'll be okay. Because we let too many outside forces doing our community. You know, like, oh, you know, like, it's crazy, man. I ain't got time to give a lecture about it, you know? But I'm locked in, man. I don't struggle with them issues with my people, man. I'm just talking about me. West side, south side, east side, international, nationally. I'm not even no rapper, Cold Hard, and kind of thing, but I'm well known and respected all across the nation. You know what I'm saying? So I don't struggle with issues. I just don't. But I tell you one thing, we can take care of the business. It starts right here to begin the business. One time I organized a session, J-Mar. I said, I need everybody to come up with $20,000. Had about, 30 people there at the back gas station. Only 2 people showed up with 20,000. Other person had a blank check. You know, it's BS, man. What I'm saying, we need to open up the gas, quit talking about it. Open up every gas station in the black community. Every one of them motherfuckers. Right? Open up every liquor store in the black community, period. Quit talking about it, just do it. And then we take that money and we channel it in some other ways and build the nation. Because that's just for me, right? I know we ain't got but a minute, but I tell you, we cannot lose if we take that blueprint.
I want to piggyback on one thing, though. This is the most important thing that I feel. That we can't know your history. Come on, right? Know who you are. Most of us right here can't go past our grandma. Come on. You don't even know your great grandma. You can't go past great grandma.
That's true.
You don't even, we stopped at grandma. That's all we know. Like, man, what happened? Like, oh yeah, great grandma, great like that. You don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. I don't know how. I can't go past. I don't know. Great granddaddy, great. It's all go on. You know what I'm saying? Ancestors.com. I'm still trying to fast. I might get to put my blood through the phone or something.
Don't give them your blood either. Don't give them your blood.
Don't do that, yeah,
they control that system too.
Right. And again, I want to pick back on some of y'all saying we're talking about, love gonna bring us home first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? Love, you gotta keep breathing love. You know what I'm saying? Envy is obsolete. You know what I'm saying? Talk love. You know, get rid of that hate. You know what I'm saying? Like you were saying earlier about black people and everything, even when they made up illegal aliens. You know, like, ain't no such thing like, how can you call a person an illegal alien? Like, for real?
Come on now.
Like, if you really an illegal alien, you're an alien. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real? Like, it's not like we being brainwashed constantly.
Program.
So, like, real talk. Like, let's keep it real, y'all. We know ourselves, we black, like I say, business owners, you know what I'm saying, rappers, everything. We need to bring all this stuff and get the rappers to stop killing each other first and foremost. That's the best thing they do. You know what I'm saying? Stop talking positive, you know what I'm saying? Let's bring positive, like, yeah, and trap, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? To just go on, talking about like real talk, get a movement, or the real movement. Like, it starts right here. I appreciate it.
Let's bring it to the queen and close us out.
Old rappers got old.
Take us home. Yeah, you fell off too.
They still got money too. Tradition is killing us.
Right, how is tradition killing the black family? Okay, my belief with tradition killing the black family, I come from a huge family from the south side of Chicago. My dad always worked, my mom was always at home. But these days, women have a lot more opportunity. I don't believe that should be the standard.
If the woman is able to sustain the family and help the family better than the husband and the man, and you work together as a unit and be unified in whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, I don't think that that should be a stereotype where it's looked at, oh, the man is at home, the woman's out doing this and doing that. But if the woman is able to sustain and make a better tomorrow for the family, for the community, I just think that, you know, that's a better way of a non-standard tradition that needs to take place. Because there's so many amazing opportunities for women, and I don't feel the fact that they have kids, that they should stay home to do that. If the husband is, you know, supporting it, it's all about the family's rights.
All right, so let me say this. That's not, you know, that the modern tradition that you're talking about is not a problem if that was actually existing. What's happening is Black women have been sold a dream for many years that they do have many opportunities. They will dangle a degree or dangle salaries, etc. But what that does, what they also do in the movement is to basically take them away from the Black man. And so if that was a movement where we actually could have Black, and I know this because, you know, Essie Marie's, y'all know she do her thing at dressings in every food store in the city of Chicago. So, you know, she do her thing, but if Whole Foods, Mariano's, she and every Essie Marie's, you know, salad dressing, y'all. But if we actually had that type of tradition, that can work. We need units like that. But the problem is that too many people think I can do bad by myself. That is incorrect. Black women have been leading the communities for many years now, and we are failing. We need family units and structure to be able to move us forward.
I want to say this one thing as a single father that have full legal custody of his daughter that's now 21 years old. I have a grandson that's 4 years old. You understand what I'm saying? It's called faith. See, we got to stop putting ourselves down as Black men and stop saying it's just the women. It's so many Black men that's single fathers that's raising their children. You understand what I'm saying? But the system has been designed and set up to destroy us. I know I would help the system. That's why I'm licensed notary now. That's what it's dealing with legal contracts. I saw the dirt that went on the courtrooms where they have all this bullshit. With all this bullshit that's been going on for over decades and centuries. But they sweep us under the rug. Why? Because of the stereotype. We got to understand. I'm an African. I just lost my mom last year. And my mom helped me raise my daughter. I lost 2 biological brothers to gun violence. Not that they have anything to do with this. But at the end of the day, in the process of all that, I was a single father. Being practically homeless, sleeping on trains. You understand what I'm saying? So I've been there. So we got to understand when you've been there, you've done that. Talk is cheap. That's it.
Hey, brothers, I want us to remember one thing too, man. One thing we must remember. See, brother, you intelligent.
Come on.
Okay? It ain't a lot of that. Remember, it's you intelligent, you speak well. It ain't a lot of that. Brother, you strong minded, very, you know, and a little territorial. It's not a lot of people like that. You dig? Sometimes when people speak, some people speak with subliminal shit instead of just saying what it is they gotta say. You know what I mean? And by the brothers getting hit how they got hit before us, like my grandfather and them, born in shacks, couldn't read.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? How can a miseducated person teach somebody how to read if he never read? How can a person that don't know general wealth speak general wealth? Or how can a person who's been beaten and abused half of their life see things clearly, you know, in family structure or in family mode? Or how can the hell father care about a mother being a single wife if he been a single son his whole life. He don't know how to be no father. You know, see, the educated need to teach the unknown. And the guys that don't know, they don't know. That's the same reason the Lord died, right? Forgive them for they not know what they do.
That's right.
People don't know why they do what they do. They don't. And strong, educated brothers like you can move mountains. You know, that brother, y'all can move mountains and things of that nature, but we still gonna have a massive percentage that won't involve themselves because they don't even know how to approach learning. You know what I'm saying? So if we can somehow, some way, invent a pattern of teaching and being compassionate.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Because people don't get hugs anymore. I know a guy who had never been hugged by his mother. His father ain't never told him he was nobody, so he don't do it to people. So somebody hug him, he stop, man. It don't feel right. When you ain't never haven't ever received a certain compassionate love in your life, it's difficult to endure. You know, so you brothers with all that powerful truth speaking and strength and know-how, I'm riding with y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? There's still a lot of things I don't even know. You know, and I'm almost 50. You know, and I'm still trying to catch hold to different things. I'm still trying to learn real estate. Come on. You know, stocks and bonds. And the other stuff that come with me. I'm trying to learn it all, you know. And it's my first time letting a female cut my hair. Thank y'all again, man. Thank y'all.
That's what we don't want to do. We got a lot of people on Zoom that's commenting. We don't want to ignore. Just you see what they're talking about before we move to the next question.
Hey, why don't y'all just take a moment and clap for this conversation? So everybody is clear. We love y'all, right? Okay. We love y'all. And we do this because of that. We can't be without y'all. So I want to make sure we understand that. Just so we know who's tuning in. The question came up, it is, we've talked about tradition, but what is tradition? No one ever defined that. Who's tradition? Who's tradition are we talking about? And I want to shout out to people that are tuning in. Cheryl Maria White, Mark Quinn McDonald, Watchguard, Tatiana Goetz, Kendi A, Jones family, FX, Charlie DeJour, George Newberry. So we have people tuning in and they want this too. So let's keep it going.
Yeah.
So somebody else, we gotta do all the talk.
Before you go to the next one, I'm gonna let you go to the next one. Let me tap into what they just said.
And I think we just talked about that. A few people. We have to create it. It is really up to us to create that cultural foundation now. We all talked about, we don't know our history. He talked about, I don't know, past my grandma. He talked about patterns of behaviors. We need to put all that together. Come on. Because we don't know past our grandma, great grandma, right? And so we must now put together that cultural foundation, put it in a book, and go out and put it in place. Teach our kids, teach our brother and brothers, kids and cousins, and we need to pass it around of what it means for us to be men in our community, men in our households, the village, what does that mean? How do we build wealth, right? How important it is for everybody to become a homeowner, how important it is for us to have entrepreneurs so that we can build our own wealth. So when they talk about tradition, the tradition that's been taught to us is the American tradition. And the American tradition is Black people go to school, be in debt, get a job to work for us. That's their tradition.
Come on now.
Pay bills, we own those companies too.
Come on. Tell it.
And the resources.
And so you never will ever work for you and your family. You will always work for us. Because even when you're paying the rent or paying the lights or paying the gas, we own all the companies. You are just giving us money, paying back the student loans, etc. We have to change that tradition. We build our own families. And that's not, let me say that, ain't nothing wrong with that because we're the only ones not doing it.
Come on. Only one.
Go down the line, white, Chinese, Greek, I don't care. Go in their communities and see how they build up their communities. Jews, go all the way down the line, you will see they build up, they have their own structure, their own foundation. You come up, you do this, this is what you do. You get this money, you get this trust fund at 21. We pass you this business. This is all, they have that in every community, but us.
Another business inside.
Yeah. Nobody else come in and mess up their foundation, because when you have the cultural foundation, then that means that you then put people in to represent you. And then they know your foundation. So then they know you can't accept certain things in our community because this is what we believe in over here. You ain't gonna go in Chinatown, think you can go over there and build up. It's not gonna happen. Because that alderman knows they got a foundation over there and you ain't gonna mess it up. We gotta have it.
Shout out to Black Wall Street for sending the blueprint.
Yeah. That's it.
Listen, I'm gonna move to the next question. Tish, you hit on something. I just read a comment, but I'm gonna come back to you. I promise you I will. A question I have for you is, who dropped the ball?
Okay.
And how did it affect you personally?
Let's see for someone we haven't heard from yet.
And it's one of those things that I'm not talking about who dropped the ball on the level of a blanket statement. I'm talking about your personal life. You probably grew up without daddy. And how did that relationship or lack of relationship affect you? Because as men, we missing steps. It's something you could talk to. You know what? It's interesting. I used to work for Illinois Department of Corrections, and there was always a man that did the long bids. I'm talking about 30, 40 years. They'll come out looking real strong. They'll come out, everything. If you was just, smooth, you know what I'm saying? But in conversation, you can tell something happened somewhere where there's a strong void. But it's a difference when you got a man in the house. And sometimes a man, they don't always have to tell. Sometimes you just watch it. You just be the example. When you deal with and I say this over and over again, kids don't listen to what you say, they listen to what you do. So I asked that question to say, who dropped the ball in your personal life?
People who ain't spoke yet.
And how did it affect you personally?
I would say drop the ball. I can't necessarily blame anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like I had expectations on what I wanted my father to do and, how I wanted him to, be instrumental in my life. But I can't blame him for the choices that he made because, at the end of the day, I wasn't hurting or, wanting for so much, but it was just what I felt like I wanted or I needed at the time. But he did his part, but I say it could have been more. But I can't necessarily blame anybody for doing it because, like I say, as a man, I accepted everything that came and I had to raise myself and, pick my choices on, what I wanted to do and how I wanted to live my life, to
If you could have anything better as far as your upbringing that you think would have helped you come up in a better life, what would it be?
Yeah, I would say that male presence, definitely, because at a young age, feeling like, okay, I'm gonna teach myself how to be a man. I can only, what I think I know of being a man, you know what I'm saying? So of course I wanted that presence so that I wouldn't have to feel like, okay, this is too hard. I don't know what it's gonna be like. Or me at 15 thinking I'm a man, what is it gonna be like now? I'm 25. You know what I'm saying? So back then thinking that, and now feeling that way, yeah, definitely that male presence would have helped tremendously.
And this is what I want to say to everybody, King. This ain't the blame game.
Come on.
I'm not asking you to say it's his fault or her fault. But these are questions we don't even, we yet to identify.
Yeah.
We still walking around in denial. And unless we really get to a point of saying, damn, what would life have really been like if my pops was there? Instead of, I ain't gonna blame my pops. And I'm saying in general, I'm not talking about when you're concerned. But I ain't gonna blame my pops because, he had it. And then I'm not telling you to say, if it wasn't for my pops, I would. But what I'm asking is, it's a void inside of all of us. I don't care if you're 100 years old or 20 years old. We need to identify it. Anybody else want to take that question real quick?
My son is here today.
Okay.
So I think that what you're talking about is something good to know. I've been in life, I got married, you know what I'm saying? Like when he was young. So I just want to know, like I say.
Oh, go ahead.
My son right here. I want to know when his life, I mean, just a feeling that I want to know. You know what I'm saying? Like I can just capture this moment. No, what's
I asked you a question.
You know how to answer the question.
What was the boy in your life growing up?
And you're in a barber shop, tell him, he wanna know.
Yeah.
I can't really say.
Right, tell him, yeah, right.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I can't really say I felt the void. I feel like everything I went through, you feel me, is for a reason. I would say that.
Be honest, tell me, I know.
I'm gonna say the question again so you know.
What could you have had better? What could you have, if you think you could have had a better path? What's something that you could have had?
I mean, maybe I would say maybe if my pops or my mom was married, you know what I'm saying?
See what they feel like.
I come from a broken home, but you know, I look up to my pops, you know what I'm saying? He got his own barbershop. Feel me, independent. That's motivation. I can't really down talk him because you know we come from a system that's based off systematic oppression. So it's like, you know, at the end of the day, it's already hard for a black man, black woman. That's all I would say.
Family structure.
Just to piggyback on that, growing up, probably most of us did. It's rare that you get two parents in the household. And I grew up under my mom, which we stayed with my grandmother and grandfather, right? So I saw that marriage, but when they passed, so what I felt is that when we are influenced by our friends. And as you're growing up, they like, you know, have your fun, you know, be a player, right? All these women. But what I'm gonna teach my son is that find one woman that you could build with. Right? Because if we able to teach our kids that, then we could get the family structure back. Instead of telling them go sow your roll oats, like what, come to America and then find somebody, right? That's in the movies, right? Hey, find one woman, cause you can't miss what you never had. Two incomes are better than one, right? And I wish I would have done that in my earlier years, and having two people in the household, raising your kids like what he said, you know, raising the kid, not kid over here on the west side, kid over here on the north side, because you know how we men are, right? Right? And you raising and you would hear this with celebrities saying this now, like I should have stuck with her, right? So that's what I regret, that I was never taught to just be with one woman, build a foundation with her. Then our family structure would be better. And Javon was, we've caught eyes saying that. So you got something to say about it.
Before we get to family structure, I think my advice would be that we need to heal our traumas first. Therapy. I know it's a word that's scary. Oh, you look good. You look good. You look good. All right. All right, we're good. Yeah. You look good. First time I want to First time I want to She get a good tip today. We get a good tip.
Looking good, looking good. That's what I'm talking about. I love it. I love it. Come on to the corner. I love it.
So, back on topic, y'all, therapy, man. Therapy. I know it's a scary word for Black man, y'all, but it's true. We all grow up with traumas. And what happens is when we don't heal from our traumas, when we get in relationships, we bring them traumas in with us. And that's what clouds our judgment of who we're supposed to build with. End up choosing the wrong people, making a lot of mistakes, making babies, going to the next, trying to heal. We ain't healed. We trying to use women to heal ourselves, when really we need to heal ourselves. So just like you talked about not growing up in a two-parent household, he talked about hugging, right? Of people not feeling those hugs. My mom was always gone, right? Working all day, doubles, because she wanted to make sure that her kids had a nice house. You feel what I'm saying? And even though the lights was off and the gas was off all the time, and we had the legal people to come get on the pole. Y'all know, Boot was on her call all the time. We had the boot keep. So we was in survival mode, you know, she was trapped. You feel me? But with all of those things, I didn't get to lay with my mama all the time. You feel me? I didn't get to hear I love you from my mama all the time. I didn't get to feel that love that I needed from my mama. And I ain't get no hugs on it. You be like, bring it in. But growing up and going through relationships and then understanding that I was dealing with those traumas, I had to heal myself. Had to get in therapy. You get what I'm saying? Get in therapy with my mama, right? Right, me and my mama still in therapy right now. And so it's so important, y'all, that we heal those traumas, because that's the only way we can have good relationships. It's the only way.
Okay. I'm gonna end with the queen and then I'm gonna transition the question. So you and then do that. All right, go ahead.
Peace, everybody. All right, now.
How y'all doing?
Yes, sir. A lot of people say that they have trauma, but they misdiagnose trauma.
Come on now.
And if you do not know as a Black man or a Black woman what your trauma is, you continue to misdiagnose it.
Yeah, come on.
My problem is racism, white supremacy.
Come on.
And if you do not understand racism, white supremacy, one thing will do is confuse you. And you'll be running in circles, talking these same conversations. The barbershop conversation is not new. It's been going on before we was born. Brothers have been having this conversation for years. You have the idea, anything that you do, it has to benefit your people first. It's not about gender, it's not about your sexuality, it's about you being Black first. I don't give a care what you do. You go back this way, go west. This is a white community. And this white community used to stretch all the way to on the other side. Then into Boston. They stretch all the way over there. So Black people started moving, they moved in. And everybody controlled their business. Now you say drop the ball, the baby boomers dropped the ball. Your mama and your daddy that's in their 70s dropped the ball. So you gotta look at your parents, because they was looking for white exception. Their grandmothers and everything built the Black Wall Streets and built the Rosewoods and built. They was looking for white exception. They was looking for white exception. And that's how they was anxious to get these country clubs and everything else like that. So they dropped the ball.
From 1968, I want y'all to go look at the movie Claudine that came out like 73. That was a movie about how they destroyed the black family.
Come on.
It was a concerted effort to destroy the black family. So if you can't pinpoint what's going on, then you can't solve your trauma. You can't solve your problem. You be running around in a circle because you think you're doing it. You gotta, okay, I'll give you an example. They're about to put this black woman as a Supreme Court judge. Okay, ladies, who gives a fuck? I'm telling you right now, what's her politics for black people? Is she black first?
Right.
See, when you look at the mob action, how the mob ran, you know what I'm saying? Anybody can be a part of the mob, but both your parents have to be Italian from a certain part of Italy. They don't allow people to come and disturb their internal politics. We are the only people that allow people to come and disturb our internal politics. That's how you fell for the hook, line, and sinker with Obama. But if you was doing it the mob way, his mama white and daddy from Africa, he's not foundation. So he's not a part of this tribe. Even the VP, her mom is from India, daddy from Jamaica. She's not a part of this tribe, so she's on the take. So you ask a person, what's your politics? It's like martial arts. When you ask a person, what's your discipline? Your discipline is not that you being disciplined. Your discipline is your style. Is it Taekwondo? Is it Tai Chi? Is it Kung Fu? That's your discipline. So you ask the person, what's their politics, where they stand. I don't care if you got many degrees. Degrees mean nothing. I could be a serial killer and got 20, 30 degrees. Everybody that's building these bombs to blow up the country got degrees. So it's like, what's your politics? And if you don't have a black first attitude, black first politics, you can't diagnose your trauma. Because you just running around chasing your tail thinking it's that on your tail, but that's not it. Because white people back both sides been on it. The same people that fucking kill you will send you to heaven. So if you're not having a black first attitude and you're not trying to control 100% of the businesses in your community, most of these kids don't have those skills because they took it out the school. So this, you gotta understand that you are at war. I don't care how many times you can fly first class or walk in the front door, you still at war. And after they killed Fred Hampton, they ramped it up. When the Black Panthers was feeding the kids, they made that illegal to feed your babies. So you have to understand what you have war with, or you can't diagnose it. It'll be a misdiagnosis every time. It's like when you put a car, you can't guess when you put it on the diagnosis and you say what it is, or your spark plug is not fine. So you know what the deal is. So I listen to what everybody said. If you do not understand what racism, white supremacy is, as a black man, they're attacking you. You wonder why women are in the forefront where they're at right now? They was put there. They was put there. When Hillary Clinton ran for president, didn't no white women vote for Hillary. They voted for Donald. Because they know the white man is their salvation. And the only reason that white women went against white men is because they wanted a piece of slavery. So you have to understand who your enemy is. And if you don't understand your enemy, you will continue to be misdiagnosed. You have to talk to your woman, let your woman know that you've been in these situations. Your woman have to talk to you. You don't even know why you having sex with most women. That's how they used to breed you. You don't even know why you fighting because you have to fight each other. They don't have to beat you for you to continue to stay back. So when you own less than 3%, I mean, white men employ 100% of their women. White men, Asian men, they employ 100% of their women. Black men employ less than 3% of their women. So when I ask a black woman to tell me that what a black man is, I ask a black woman, well, how many black men have you worked for?
She had. She's worked for all white men and everybody else in her whole life. So until we take back our communities, until we build these skills, we will continue to be in the and we don't even know what the problem is. People be like, damn, I don't even know. And I feel something, but I don't know. So this covers the whole scope of it. If you don't understand what immigration is used for, how they take these people and they give them money. Everything we do is about reparations. And when we talk about reparations, if you can't trace your lineage back to the 1870 census, I need you to be quiet. So when they bring Black people over here from Jamaica, Africa, all these other places, and they bring them in here to disturb our internal politics, you don't get to speak on what's going on in this house. So your problem is racism, white supremacy. If you're not saying that, then you're not saying nothing. How you mean your woman got the job? Of course they're gonna give her the job. And not give you the job, but you're supposed to be your own creator. Can't nobody take that. Ain't nobody never gonna stop you from me. If a man can stop you from me, come on, the man that employ you, the man that can stop you. So y'all can continue to love each other and do the things that we need to do to build and elevate, but you gotta diagnose it the right way. You have to diagnose, because if you don't understand what Reaganomics was, and how they use that to destroy the Black youth and to get them out of the programs and then bring the drugs in the 80s. If you understand that the Drug Abuse Act of 1986, they gave you 5 times more of the sentence for doing crack versus cocaine, which Joe Biden put up there. That was the Joe Biden in 86. So you have to understand. The war on drugs, that wasn't Ronald Reagan. The first person who did the war on drugs was Richard Nixon. Make America Great Again was not Donald Trump. It was Let's Make America Great Again. That was Ronald Reagan and George Bush, their first campaign. So you got to understand, they're going to recycle everything to keep you down. You don't have no friends. Your friends, the people that's right here, right now, that look like you. This is your fucking friends right here. And until we build what we got to build, we ain't got no friends. I'm not trying to say kumbaya with nobody else. I want to eat first. I'm not trying to eat second. They can't stop you from what you're doing. This is the last day of Black History Month. If you knew everything that Black people created and the stuff that was stolen, ain't no country with this. They've been trying to build America for years. They couldn't do it until they enslaved Black people. And let's get this clear. Less than 6% of the slaves that came from Africa made it over here. There was already foundational. This is our thing. So when you call yourself African American and all these other names, no, you misdiagnose yourself. Call yourself Black because Black is the movement. Once you gain power, you can call yourself whatever you want to do after that. But you got to understand what you are up against. And that's the only way you can diagnose yourself. So peace on that one.
Let me just say that 96% of our employees are Black women.
Hey, we got 3 of them in the building, 3 of them in the
But now I'll let you keep.
Listen, it's getting a little close, to time now. Let's please keep it 1 minute. Please keep it 1 minute. Give it up to that brother one more time. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
Brother Elijah has a new film coming out. I'm gonna give him a shameless plug because he's so humble.
Right now, I'm about to do a documentary on Black fathers. You're a father and you have a son. I'm doing interviews this month coming up in March. So I will give you information, and I'm not dissing the brothers that got daughters because that's going to follow up behind that. But what I want to do is show the excellence of Black men. You have to understand why Black men are in this life. This is a media control.
Because to them, we just want to be niggas. You see what I'm saying? Everything we do, so I want to exalt us. There's no bigger deadbeat than a white man. Let's just make this clear. And I'm not, you see me. I post what I say. Ain't no bigger deadbeat than a rapist. He raped and pillaged and made black men, decimated us. You see what I'm saying? So this documentary is showing the interactions that we have with each other as fathers and sons. And I'm doing a documentary on that right now. I'm releasing it on Father's Day this year. So,
me and my son getting sharp, Jack.
All right, next question. How have you carried your trauma into your relationship? As Black men, how have you carried your trauma into your relationship with your significant other? Trauma / systematic oppression.
First of all, I'm brother first. Yeah, we brother first, man. Cole, I gotta say something to Cole first, man. We go back years, man, from doing business with my cousin years ago. Sir. Yes, I was a teenager. I love you, bro. Love you too, I don't forget that. Yes, sir. So you coming out south, man, I appreciate that, but back on top. That's we don't talk. But the traumas that we carry, not just my personal relationship, brother. I can't even speak for y'all, but I'm gonna hit something. We've been carrying it. When your brother asked the question earlier about the topic of dropping the ball, we never had the ball, family. We never had the ball. Never. Which goes back to that cultural foundation. If you would have had the ball, you would have dunked it, right? What happened to that divide? Imagine you being a father in the field, knowing that baby got master. It's gonna be a division somewhere, you don't feel right. And we gotta raise dude, baby, man. But the mama's gonna raise. There's gonna be some divisiveness. Right now, we challenge. You take it as disrespect, it's our love for me. That's what I do, man. But we challenge. We still can't on dude's name. It bothers me to hear my brothers with hell on our face. We use the word they too goddamn much. 2023, damn near, we still small with they doing. They this, they that. Wonder why your woman ain't listening. You sucking dude dick, man. You gotta let that motherfucker go. That motherfucker ain't in the hospital forcing us to write down Johnson, Cecil Williams. None of this shit, man. We been knowing better since Malcolm, right? When you have motherfuckers been partying, we still to my study this, that. And I love what Cole said earlier. He said, man, put on. Whether we talking whatever, educate this, college that, fraternity that, them titles, device. We still cocking hats, folks, GD, I'm a frat, all that shit, man. What we doing? We talking, but every time I get on this video, meet me in the street, invite me to your hood, Southwest side, I'm coming. A lot of y'all know me already. You might applaud me, but it's like, oh, who gonna reach these babies? Like Cole said, if they don't know, who gonna bring that visual example? You gonna come feel short? You gonna come guide? You gonna give them what's real? You gonna be consistent with it? You gonna rock with them? What's up, little bro? Speaking to them is a little something. But how did that trauma affect me? Back to that question, I don't like letting you mistake. That trauma, we all carry it. We know what's real, man. What we gonna do? All right, I'm after the mic. I come to your block. I come to your guys. But the thing is, we became childish because we too arrogant in our shit. We too arrogant. Yeah. It sound good on camera. This is like, yeah. Let's clean that block out there. And you know I got some other shit to do, man. Yeah, I'm still applauding. Go ahead, Vince. Go ahead, so and so. Yeah, I mean, we capping, man. Capping and bullshit. You chasing that bag. The same shit we talking about the white motherfuckers did, and they did this, that, and the other. Motherfucker, you gonna chase that shit when you get done, right? Get the bag when you ain't got time for shorty in it. You wonder why they rocking. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I see why they poking. You wonder why the women doing with it. Them niggas playing. Pay attention to every black male meeting. You gonna see the women there, huh? Them niggas ain't got a clue. Yeah. What we doing? They watching us play. We playing. Gonna dress up, look slick, smell good, muscles out. I got some slick fish too. It's not my game sometimes. You know what I'm saying? We family, so I talk like this, man. You can whoop me, I'm whooping you too. I'm gonna have dinner with you after this. But the thing is, family, it's the confusion throws the babies off, man. All that years and 120 and 30 some years. It's what, like brother said earlier, it's what them babies see, man. What they been seeing. Okay, they go to politicians, they ain't gonna be there. They go so-and-so them with a foundation, you gonna do what? So having that ball, you never had the ball. You've been showing the whole generations for years and years. Cultural confusion. You're keeping everybody confused. We talking about this get together, but it's like, okay, well, what we gonna do? Like Cole said, if you don't know, what you gonna do? Everybody all over the goddamn place. What can we come to common ground? I'm with it. I'm with it. Even if the news come, white folks, whatever we say, well, who's the leader? Everybody. What religion is y'all? We just us. Like what brother said the word earlier, black people is black and the white people supremacy. Brother, the word supremacy means something different to me, brother. Supreme means, I ain't worried about that motherfucker doing that supreme. We gotta do something supreme ourselves. We know how dudes get out. We know what lions and tigers and bears do. They get out, but what you gonna do to the cubs? We ain't got time to, let's get together and figure out what we gonna do. While the baby's like, they still talking about what they gonna do. Well, we finna poke motherfuckers. Y'all been showing me Cadillacs and rims. I'm finna go pay bills. Shit, y'all slick, we finna get slick. We might be uneducated. You know what this pistol do though. We're gonna make you lower. Everybody can get this. That's what y'all been showing. You ain't bringing no book, you're talking, we just, yeah, all the signs, yeah. Keep blaming the white dude. We poking you. We in your window, parked and telling you, everybody, telling you. It's 2023, man. Come on, brother. I don't like talking much, man. I know three sisters Africa invite me, but she know what I couldn't do. People in the street know what I do. Invite me to your hood. I'm just saying, I'm brother first. I get y'all my phone number. Now everybody on stream too. Yeah, listen. 773-916-0426. Check me out. I ain't fucking around, man. We're gonna do something about these babies or not. That's right. Simple. My question is, it ain't to put nobody on front. It's what the hell you doing? What you gonna do? Give me when you're ready. I'll assist in y'all in whatever y'all do. Whatever y'all do, I'm coming for free. Ask them. That's all. I ain't gonna tell shit.
I'm gonna give this question two more people, and then we gotta move on. Did anybody else want to touch it before I move down? Go ahead.
I'm gonna make it quick. You know, the question is we take the trauma, previous relationships and so new relationships. As a man, I admit that because when I come up, like Eric was talking about, you know, the player's mindset. This happened, you know, I always grew up, Jamal, I think it was cool to be that 2 or 3 women. I was born that way. I mean, that's just like, and I'm not saying I'm proud of that. I'm not gonna never say that. It's what I tell young guys all the time, get one woman to do the right thing. I do that, but that's not what I do. You see, I do it now. You know, of course, I'm not young as I used to be. I still get a lot of rhythm though. I mean, seriously. You know? To be honest with you, it ain't got nothing to do with me being a white student. I'm just a cool brother. I'm a stand-up man, and I can take all the. I didn't say that to put myself on how it was, but it would be better for guys to get with one woman. I'm telling everybody that's watching, get one lady and do the right thing. I'm being honest with you, because guys like me still might be caught up in some of my ways. It's been a long time. You know. Most people ain't gonna get honest with that. If you're not no real like player guy, you can't tell your woman you got another woman. Yeah. You know, if you married, that means you let that go. I mean, I ain't preaching to nobody, but those are facts of life. So I'm here to tell young brothers the truth. I ain't gonna spin them, deceive them. I just grew up around pimps, players, and prostitutes and shit. I really did, over the project, 792 College. That's all I knew, you know, so my mindset might be a little. But you know, I'm not gonna push, but one thing about it, I'm not gonna push my mindset on a young brother. Right. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that, right? I'm much better than I ever been. Don't get me wrong, I don't wanna say the wrong shit down here. Come on now. Watching this stuff, but do the right thing, man. Do the right thing. That's all I want to say. Give it up to Brother Tito.
This reason I ask this one about the traumas that we take in. It's time for the brothers to grow up.
Yes, right.
If you notice, it ain't even hard to be a top tier man these days, not because you all that, but because your competition so weak.
So weak. Man, tell us about it.
You dealing with men that got hygiene problems.
Hush your mouth.
Just the fact, these men, these ain't want to even take a shower. Dope boys on the corner 8 days and then crawling in the bed with their woman. They don't want to smell that. We're missing the basics of being a man. I'm not talking about, we ain't even get to 720 credit score.
Come on now.
See, men, we don't want, I'm gonna tell you what's crazy is a man can sleep with 80 women. And women are so forgiving and then find a way to say, oh, he done changed, bring him back. If you find out your girl hugged another man, you, oh, no, man, are you cold? The point I'm making is stop breaking these women. That's the problem I have. I'm not getting into if you got this woman or that one. That's not what but be a man at the end. You ain't gotta break women, tell them what they ain't, cuss them out, dog them out. If you gotta do all that to the woman, just walk away. Right. Because the problem is, once again, like I said, kids listen to what they see. They don't listen to what they hear. Right. So when you breaking this woman in front of a kid or just breaking a period, you don't think that got no effect on the black kid? So as men, we got to get out of ourselves now. And we got to get us right. And more than anything, we got to stop dealing with women that ain't got nothing to lose. Because women that ain't got nothing to lose to take you there.
Sound like the women who say, what's up, bro?
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
I ain't gonna play. I don't want no trouble. I ain't want no trouble. So,
They have to believe in this cultural foundation.
Yeah, yeah. Go. Before I move on, did anybody want to grab? I'm about to move on. Go ahead. And I'm gonna give it to you.
We need my brothers in the back. I need all three of y'all on this next question, because ain't nobody saying nothing back there. Okay, well, go back to the question. Say it one more time. What's the trauma?
The trauma that you deal with, that you take in your relationship.
Is that a tow truck?
That's CTA.
That's CTA? Okay. Hey. That's when that foundation kick in. We all go outside. Like, what y'all on? Hey. What y'all on? You ain't doing nothing over here. I saw yellow lights flash.
All right, I'm gonna go to the next question real quick. Next question. Is it risky to date? No, is it risky for a black man to date or marry a white woman? Yeah. And why? In today's society, is it risky for a black man? Now, in this society, is it risky for a black man to date or marry a white woman?
It's probably risky with opinions.
Okay.
You know, because you love who you love.
Got it.
You know, and there's plenty of black brothers with white wives that's still great black men.
Yeah.
You know, they just got a white significant other.
Yeah.
Sometimes colored human beings like each other. You know, and some colored human beings have better relationships than what they do with their own kind. I know a black and white couple that's been together for 57 years, you know, but none of the kids look like they black and white. You know, they all look just black, you know, but, you know, sometimes the colored humans resembles us, you know, and you know, we make all different kind of colors, you know, because we can set a box of crayons out easy, you know. We top the line on domination, you know, but is it safe to say in society now for a black man to be with a Spanish woman? You know, because you know the blacks once ruled Spain. You know, some black people could be Spanish and live in America and not know it. I think we all indigenous. That's what I think. You know, because we can't claim a whole bunch of Africanism because we didn't come from there. Our bloodline comes from Africa. I think we'd be pretty scared over there, you know, trying to just learn how to live, you know, and seeing that sea full of black people, you know what I'm saying? And knowing the black people you normally been around, you know, that's what we is. We a culture clash because we still don't know who we are. You know, the blood been mixed and dribbled too many times. You know, the rabbit on the fence. It's been too many different new creations. You know what I'm saying? You know, we mixed with, you know, Portuguese. And, you know, we mixed with the Portuguese. No, all of us. And then, you know, that's good, man. Them blacks and Indians, blacks and Indians always had a, you know, it's been like this here. And you know, the Asian people also is the very bloodline with us, you know. Yeah, they had a, you look half Asian. I'm trying to tell you. Haven't you heard of the Asiatic black man? They haven't made it up for no reason. It was a newfound place for black people. Like, hey man, you see, look. You know, and we mate everywhere we go. You know, wherever black dick go, it leaves something there. You know. The mating camps, remember? So, you know, half of our grandfathers could be brothers and we don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like blood brothers got the same dad.
When you talk to your family history, you'll find out some cousins and marry some cousins.
Oh man, but you ain't know it's a whole bunch of inbreds running around. I might be one. You know? I don't know, my great-grandparents had the same last name, but you know, they got names from the people whose plantation they were working on, so I wouldn't know their real last name. It could be, you know, because I wouldn't even be able to pronounce it. Like this man name,
I ain't gonna mess with it, Miss Alpha. I ain't gonna mess with it. This is the reason I asked that question. Because when you do a kingdom building, and I'm not again, you love who you love at the end of the day.
I think the question too controversial. Oh, it is. Black men like white women and white women like black men. It's controversial for some people to talk about.
It is. So we'll keep it moving.
Another shot. There you go.
Go ahead.
No, man, you supposed to touch on.
Next question. We gonna go to the next question.
No, next question.
It's a reason behind it. We'll go to the next question. We gotta wrap it up. So hopefully we'll be out here like 8:15. Let me see, where should I go? Let's end it on this. Let's end it on this. I want to hear from somebody I haven't heard from today, please. I don't put nobody on the spot. I want to hear something from somebody I haven't heard. What are the small things we can do to better our community? The small things.
First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Anthony Jones, also known as AJ Styles, and I'll explain that in a second. First of all, I want to say I'm pissed. I'm pissed for the fact that I'm sitting here and this stuff is going on and all these men are sitting in this room and this stuff is not being duplicated over and over and over again. And this is probably why Kohai told me to come. On the west side of Chicago, we have choreographed a couple of different things for our young people in the community, in our community-based projects that Kohai is definitely a part of. I'm pissed off for the fact that we haven't been able to do this stuff over and over again. And we sit in conversations and we have these talks over and over and over again. I stopped talking about 10 years ago. I started moving. I started creating. I started developing. I started employing. I started working with other churches and faith-based organizations. I am really upset that these things are not happening more often. I have a salon called AJ Styles Barber and Beauty Salon in the Gilwood Plaza. We just acquired another location called Styles Inner City Music Academy. It's a non-for-profit. It's for the kids to have Kohai come down and teach and educate. I want to do. I want to move. It's a great deal of knowledge in this room. I'm even honored to be here, to even just sit here and listen to you. That's why I haven't said anything. Because I'm a listener. I wanted to hear what people's heart really was. And I've been moved by everybody. And it's an honor to be. I want to go to the next step. First of all, I want to know when the next meeting is. Second of all, I want to be able to help create that action plan to effectively make this change, not talk about it. We know politicians, we know police officers, we know community activists, we know entertainers, we know lawyers. What are we waiting on? Therapists.
And doctors.
What are we waiting on? 10 years ago, I stopped talking and started moving and making things actually happen because all the things that we really need was in the barbershop. So I built a barbershop. I employed everybody to build their family, to work together, to have their kids in the salon with me. My next thing then is on my heart right now to give to you guys is being able to not only just be image of that, you know, we have to make that narrative ourselves. We really don't need nobody. Yes, our history and all those things are very important. But what are we going to do tomorrow? What's the move tomorrow? Can we go get 20 kids each tomorrow and take them to lunch? I got a bus sitting on my right now. What are we going to do tomorrow to change the narrative? And that's my question. We can do that as a whole. So I want to thank you all for even allowing me to take this opportunity to speak. My name is Jones. You can find me on anywhere. Again, you get my phone number. You can call me directly. I've been a social service activist for the last 26 years. I worked with non-for-profits and organizations and churches.
But none of this stuff is really happening in other communities. And it needs to be visible. It needs to be visible. We have to stand as a united front. We can't be afraid to step out of this barbershop and still be the same people either. So we gotta go tell who we need to tell, this is who we are as a united front. So tomorrow, when I get up, we got an after school program going on. So we want to be able to move now. One small point that someone else touched on real quickly is that the fact that knowing our history and understanding where we come from and being a part of that is very factual. But the part that we do next, we really don't have a lot of time. Unfortunately, yes, most of the men that here are 50. We are, right? Or swinging on. Have you added up? Have you multiplied? The African American male lives to be, I don't want to throw that statistic out there. You did. We don't have a lot of time. So we press against time right now. We have to move as fast as we can. We have to support this man's documentary. We have to get these brothers out here to talk to the kids. We have to get these retired police officers got to be a united front.
I'm free. Hey, law, everything, hard work, electricians, you know what I'm saying, heating and cooling, you know what I'm saying, entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship, that's the place to stuff on. That's what we
A few
do.
years ago, I didn't know shit about real estate. I didn't. I built a real estate office upstairs, so it was studio. We don't have to wait for nobody. Okay, so let's move. Y'all need me? I love this. I love this. I love the fact that we're doing this. I'm honored, Koha, for you to be bringing me here because you know we're doing this same thing on the West End.
My honest goes, I tell storyteller. You know, I'm a real talker. Just make it real quick. Just all based on me just knowing where I come from. You know what I'm saying? Being a baseball player, and mama and them guiding me to be the best that I can be. Then, you know, making a right turn down the wrong street. You know what I'm saying? Getting incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? You know, been gone for like, you know, got incarcerated 18, came out on 22. I never looked back. I put the particular clippers inside the penitentiary. And that was my avenue of telling me that I have to work for myself. I didn't want nobody to tell me, like, you know, I gotta work for them. So I made this choice and it had been paved my way. I watched everybody fall off like cars. You see 1,000 people go. I sit behind this jail, I see cars go past, and it just let me know that we are gonna land.
Let me just say, first of all, clap it up, everybody. So we have the power, all of us, to make the impossible possible. We do. That's what this is about. This is why I brought this initiative today, is because we can tie into everybody in the city. Since I was 15 years old, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 15 years old and been out of my mother's house since then too. And so I stepped up as a young boy and said, I want to elevate my family. And I've been successful every year since, multiple companies, including this one, My Turn to Own, which is a housing council agency that employs folks as well. You know, we solar panel company that the state is backing, a whole bunch of different things, creating jobs, creating opportunities, and elevating the community, as well as fight institutions that are not investing back in the community, which is why I bought Chase Bank and got them to give $1 billion back to Black community. But at the end of the yeah, come back with Chase. I'm still banned from every Chase in America as well. I'm still banned. They banned me from every Chase in America.
That means you are somebody.
Yeah. They banned me from every Chase in America still. But I say all that to say is that we can make the impossible possible. Everybody in this room has a skill. Everybody in this room is tied to something. Each week, we have different folks in the room in every industry. Africa Porter, I brought her on my team because I knew between me and Africa Porter, we could call anybody in the state. Anybody. And so that's why I brought Africa Porter in. And when I started the Housing Council Agency and said we need to make sure we get folks in home ownership, I went to my chief of staff and recruited him before we even started, because I knew he was in real estate, and I knew he had the knowledge, and I knew he got an Airbnb. I know he owned property. So I went to him and said, "We got millions to start this company, so I need you to be my chief of staff." And so that's how I've been moving over the years. It's taking the relationships that I've built and bringing them into fruition so that we can elevate communities. And we all have the ability to do that right here. Right here. My former principal right here works in Cook County Jail under Tom Dock. Folks talking about the jail, and y'all need to get to Cook County, well, that's who y'all need to talk to. Or shoot this video. He seemed like that. But you talk about taking kids to lunch, right? Yeah. I own a luxury transportation company. I got coach buses, 56-seater, 49-seater. I take the large groups. Let's bring it out. We can do that. But I'm gonna tell y'all one thing that's gonna be important that we all do though. All of these conversations we've had, how many barbershop conversations we have around the city over the last couple of months? 10. We've had 10 barbershops. This is our 10th barbershop conversation the last couple of months. We do this every Monday. Out west, we need to go to. Shout out to the west side, going to the south side. Shout out to the west side. Listen, we coming out west. We coming out west. We coming out west. Oh, just 10.
Y'all got the initiative last week we did out west.
Oh, we did do an initiative. Oh, we just gave out. We fed hundreds of families. We fed hundreds of families on Madison and Spring, 110 families on Madison and Springfield last week. Yeah, we was on Madison. And so every Thursday, we went to the barbershop. We went in the barbershop and gave out produce bags to everybody in the barbershop. They're on the street. That was stuff. So look,
Our space and recording studio is right down the street.
So we need to come out west ASAP. But let me tell y'all where we need to go with all these conversations. What's to go? We definitely need to come out west. We just be trying to find the grass, but we love it out west. No, I'm just playing. No, grass gone. Ain't no grass out west. Where we going with these conversations is that we're gonna take all of the group of men that have joined, where we've connected all across the city in every departments, the community members, the activists, the entrepreneurs, the folks that are in politics. We're gonna bring everybody together, and we are going to do a conference and build out what that cultural foundation looks like. What does it look like? From basic all the way up to building wealth, to the village, and really put it down on paper, what it looks like and how we're going to start to implement it all together. We need to create an agenda that we all can follow so that we can teach it to our children, teach it to our communities, and move it forward. So that is our mission and what we're going to be doing here forward. All right?
Patience is a virtue. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. What I wanted to say was about the question about the trauma. Trauma is so important because I lost 2 biological brothers to gun violence. A lot of people lost people to loved ones to gun violence in this home. I'm the oldest out of 5. I turned 45 Christmas Day. You know, and I lost my baby brother 10 years ago. My mom died, unfortunately, last year, this year, May 2nd. So my mom was a true, strong advocate. Speaking out against mothers that lost their children to gun violence. We got to understand that she was the strongest advocate. Mothers are the strongest advocates that we are. They'll never go through what they've been through. So therefore, Project Solution 2 was named to my mother's aunt. It's a nonprofit that deals with therapy. We said therapists. So trauma. And we deal with all different trauma as far as the spiritual side of things, first of all, let alone the mental, because we don't get to the spiritual, the root of the problem, and pluck that root out, it's going to be there. We can talk about all these things all day, but people need to get therapy. A lot of our people are headstrong because we feel like all this is programmed off. Therapy is real. Whether it's spiritual, mental, massage, acupuncture, these are all the different therapies we offer. As far as extended services, yes, sir. So I heard this is when we talk about the therapy stuff. So we're looking for a therapy because we're a groundbreaking organization that just got incorporated in 2019 and during the pandemic, fortunately, has blessed us. So like I said, we have to understand and know there's people right here. We're looking for a team of therapists. You know, we build it. We need people with compassion. Do it all the time. Like Brother Cole, I said, with compassion and humility. Not so you gotta have more trees in a damn thermometer. It ain't got no sense. Can't nobody tell you nothing. That's it. So probably to y'all at gmail.com. Get in contact.
So this is what we're gonna do real quick so we can break and we can network because we need to wrap these cameras so that we can get to network. Because we're gonna get to the food and everybody to talk to each other. So real quick, everybody in the back, real quick. Come in real quick. Everybody in the back. Everybody in the back, come in real quick. Yeah, that wasn't happening. Something I see you chewing or something. Right. Yeah, exactly. We've been in it right now. We got 2 more minutes. Here's the thing. We're gonna take the mic around and I need you to give me a 20-second pitch
20 seconds.
of who you are, what you're involved in, or an organization. 20 seconds tops. Okay, because we already over time and we got to cut. 20 seconds tops. That way, when y'all are networking and when y'all talking, y'all know, okay, that brother do this, that brother do this, that brother here. I want y'all to listen. Okay? So 20 seconds tops. I start. I'm J. Ball Green. I'm a social entrepreneur, president of My Turn to Own, community activist, and political strategist. And I will help you get into a home or become an entrepreneur and help you find the money to do it.
Christina, I like to do things as far as like security. I plan on going to the military soon, be an MP. I like to box. I like to work out. And I just like to be on my purpose.
Cool.
My name is King Tate Pies. I go by the artist name of King Kunta. I'm the #1 Chicago public youth speaker. I am a champion for health and for our youth. And my music promotes life and love. I'm a creative writer. I'm not working right now, so I look forward to plugging in and see if I can help add value to anybody's team. I need a job, and that's all I do. So I want to help market. If I can write jingles for you and help promote your business, hey, I'm ready to help. I'm a servant. Thank you.
Brother, first, I'm involved in community engagement wherever my people are in Chicago. Online or whatever. I just love the community, man. Call me, check me out, invite me to whatever. I'm willing to help. Just get busy. All right, I love y'all.
My name is Eric, retired, but I'm a Hebrew Israelite. So I'm gonna tell people who they really are.
Right.
My Hebrew name is Haggai.
Thank you, brother. Right here. My name is Olu Olubington, commonly known as Olum. Sometimes people call me Loom. Those people that met me recently, they call me Blue. But I am a curator and a librarian. I care about little known and unknown Black history makers. I curate art, books, and artifacts. So anybody that knows me for real, y'all know what that's about. And I'm also down with the Moors movement, all the way up to Moors Brewing Company. We team Moors.
Wow. What I say who I am, King Kunta. And I love your stuff. You already know. I love your stuff, and I like the videos and stuff. I like what you be doing. I know you don't know I'm paying attention to.
I ain't got no videos going on.
It's like, don't you got them little sketches you be doing on there? What you be rapping on there? That's you. You be speaking on Black history and stuff like that. King Kunta, I seen you on there. Hey, man, I know who you is. Well, I know who you is. And I heard you before. And I've seen you on the on something.
You put in that work. You put in that work, bro. That's what that means. You put in that work.
Yeah. Well, you know, my name is Corey James. I go by the name Cole. I'm in the group Crucial Time City. I motivate people to win. You know, you can't be sad around me. I won't allow it. You can't talk sad things to me. Or if you vent, don't call me. Because I'm not gonna let you do it. I'm gonna keep saying something positive to you. I'm gonna battle your negative thinking. You know, I'm a motivator. I also I shoot videos and movies. I got a new movie out right now, raw footage movie called Knocking Down, where I play a cookie police. And I do it well. And thank y'all for having me here tonight, man. Everybody can reach me at Corey James on Facebook.
Everybody doing? I'm Michael. I am a barber, a tattoo artist, and I am a photographer, also a videographer. Dana Dane Barbershop. 20.04 West 111.
No, come on, man.
Right there.
Benjamin Mays. I'm a filmmaker, and I'm in camera mode.
My name is Shonia Scott. I am a licensed therapist. I'm a licensed therapist here in Chicago and Illinois, also entrepreneur, product developer. I'm a heart health advocate, which is a #1 disease in the African American community. So heart disease is something that I'm kind of channeling with my product. It's in Mariano's, Whole Foods, Peace Fresh Market. Like the young man said here about, the racism thing. No matter what industry you're in, you're gonna face it. Yeah. So my thing and my takeaway from this whole thing is unity. No matter what we do, we have to be unified and support each other.
So what's the name of your product?
My name is.
Every industry we're in, we're being targeted. You it don't matter what you get.
Hey, come on, 20 seconds. My name is Thomas. I'm from the west side of Chicago. I'm a barber. I'm a percussionist, and I mentor and teach little kids. Mentoring and life skills for the kids. So I'm with every movement. I also am affiliated with Cole Crucial Kids Foundation, AJ as well in the movement. That's right. Hey, just a regular dude.
Yo, west side of two?
Yeah. What's up?
Y'all see how we welcome the west side to the south side?
My name is Anthony Jones. I'm the owner of AJ Styles Barber and Beauty Salon. Also have Dorky Dose Daycare, licensed daycare facility. I'm a licensed cosmetologist, y'all. I just recently graduated my instructor course to be a teacher as well. We also have developed AJ Styles Inner City Music Academy, where we be doing not-for-profit programs and educational enhancement around musical and performing arts in there. We also have Styles on the Move entertainment party buses, and a few other different things that we're developing as we speak. Styles in Motion, I want to talk about that real briefly because that's another agency that we kind of created to develop, and I need y'all help with that too, to go to the nursing homes. So we've been doing a program where we're going to the senior facilities and doing haircuts and styles for the elderly, and we've been able to develop a a program. And that's kind of why I went back to get my instructor course, because I wanted to use the cosmetology students to go to the nursing homes to provide a service and give them college credit hours for doing something for free. Amen.
Amen, amen.
So thank you guys.
Well, my name is Dana Kemp. This is my shop. It's the Dana Dan Show. I've been in business for like 20-some years. You know, it's been a blessing. And the only way I've been in business is because of family. You know what I'm saying? Would nothing be possible without family? You know what I'm saying? That's where it started from. That's where I'm gonna keep it from. And I still owe them money today. Sure. I'm Stephen Moses. They call me Steve-O. Okay, my background is in music. Went to Columbia College, film theater for 20 years. I mean, I have a Sam Living Legacy LLC, which is a printing company, as well as a mobile tax service with a licensed notary. Because when I went through the system with the crooks, with all these contracts, because of the seal, understand the power.
There's two notaries in the room.
Okay, here we go. Power. See what I'm saying? I'm talking about. Okay, that's all I gotta say. And I'm proud to introduce you to y'all. Those licensed therapists, come on, y'all, let's do it. Let's get ourselves. I'm getting some help myself. All right. I need some help. Come on, y'all.
You got it, bro. You got it, man. No. You getting it, bro. You getting your help.
Yeah, keep going. I just came to support my uncle. I'm just happy to be in the room, be family filled with all the love and all the support, and I see what y'all trying to do and seeing the vision.
What you're interested in? What you like? To
Well, right now I'm visiting, trying to build a landscaping business. Basically just, well, yeah, I'm doing my research and doing my things to go and get that moving.
But you are working on it.
Visualize, baby, visualize.
You work.
Big up to the Dana Dane Show for having this. Big up to Africa. She been doing everything for years. Positive person, period. So I love Africa. My name is Frank Wells. My background is with I went to Columbia College too for film, but sometimes life take you on those detours. I ended up working for the city for 15 years. Oh, hard you don't remember this, but you used to support an underground party I did out west. I used to own Daisy's Barbecue, 3853 West Madison. You don't remember? I used to come over and get barbecue. And I used to do a little underground Monday night football party that you and all the crew used to come through, and it blew up because of you. Big ups, thank you. Currently, I founded a company called Sydney Winston and Wells. It's a business license consulting firm. My background is with City of Chicago in the business license unit. So any type of business licensing, building permits, zoning, liquor license, any type of licensing in the city, I have contractors to pull permits, etc. So bear with me, I'll pass cards around or whatever, but let's do what we say we gonna do.
And y'all program. I need to be spanked.
Everybody, my name's TJ. I'm a retired barber. I have a barber shop.
I can't tell. Please.
I had a barber shop since 98 to 2022. I'm working here. My cousin brought me back in. He said I can't retire. So family got me in. I'm a jazz singer. And family got me on, you know, it's all about talking, get together, and family putting each other on, and family is what we need.
Come on. Everybody don't know you. Everybody don't know you.
like my phone, what you doing there?
Name is Elijah Shreves. On Facebook, I'm Elijah Hands. I've been a massage therapist for over 20 years. Yes. A screenwriter, motivational speaker, road traveler, and a student. Because in order to be a great teacher, you gotta be a student. So I'm a continuous student. I have relationships with a few people in here, and I'm looking to have a better relationship with all you guys. This is nothing new that we're doing here. You know, everybody got something to do. I just have one suggestion. We need to pick one neighborhood and go into that neighborhood and invest in the neighborhood.
Take it over.
Take that one neighborhood over and then duplicate that in other neighborhoods. See what I'm saying? Because you gotta have centric. You see, because that money is money flowing on these streets. You see what I'm saying? I just looked at it. You got 5,000 Facebook friends.
Right.
And y'all put $6,000 in the pot, that's $30 million. Some of us trick off $6,000 on a weekend doing nothing. You see? So it's nothing but love for everybody in here. Everybody got their thing, but everything is about a solution. So with saying that, I have a few scripts that will be coming out within the next 2 years, and I'm looking for them to be impactful for all of us.
I'm telling you, shoot movies are so.
Go ahead. Blessed and honored to be here. My name is Earl McKay, former principal, high school and grade school level. Currently at Cook County Jail. And my best assignments at the jail is going back and talking to the detainees. We don't call them inmates, they're detainees, because that's temporary to fight the case. But in that jail, we have a recording studio. We have a kitchen that's like a 5-star kitchen. So we give them things, entrepreneurship classes, put them in unions, you name it. We try to do everything we can within our power. So we have a progressive sheriff, and he's behind everything we do. I have a couple of restaurants in the South Side looking to expand properties, all that good stuff. So
Talk about what's the restaurants, let's say it.
Kingfish Seafood and Shrimp is restaurant. So myself and my sister, we got a couple going. We're looking to
Kingfish on 71st.
absolutely. In fact, the coach of Whitney Young is a good buddy of mine, Tom Slaughter. But I remember one thing I always lived by: the dead battery cannot charge another dead battery. You sometimes need somebody positive or a positive battery to jumpstart you, and that's what this is tonight.
Say something, we come down there, man, and lead us to stop and speak to the jail.
I think you know my old brother Dane Uno.
Yeah, I know.
New York,
Yeah, that's my man.
So Dane one is your brother.
Yeah.
My name is Don Amici. I've been in the real estate industry for about 17 years, real estate investor, and also chief of staff of my turn.
This is for holiday. I've been living off my brand for about 20 years. Dallas Interruptions. God gave me a niche, and I went with it. You know what I'm saying? When I'm the big brother, I'm with it. When all else fails, call me. That's right. Get goddamn job. I'm looking at that, folks. I know a lot of people are praised to the God, but I don't take no credit for that. I give it all to God. I'm not even religious, I'm spiritual. But you know, that's it for me.
Tell who you is, who you represent.
So my name Keon. I came to support my uncle as well, as my little brother said.
Oh, there you go.
I work at Midway Airport, and I like the way y'all interact with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like as a youth, we don't see that, you know, everybody.
Right now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's more family before anything. Family is just all separated. Like you were saying about the GDs and, you know, BDs, Mills, and everything like that. So, yeah, it's like, it's peaceful though, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Chrissy. I am the project coordinator to my turn to own, but I do a lot more. I am also a radio personality, the station manager at FMP Radio. I believe I've seen you in the studio before. With 3Ps, you know, you came in the studio on the show one day.
Hold on.
It was not there. But with that, you know, I'm just here. I hear a lot of people in here talking about real estate, so I just want to add that some else of the things that I do. I am officially a receiver of the court. If anyone is familiar with the receivership program, which means that we can go in and actually take those properties and claim, get the deed. So.
All right. So everybody in here has some amazing talents, and I want y'all to eat. Let's network. Let's play a little music. I don't know how long we got up in the day. Show up in it's your stuff. They can't put us out. All right. So first thing that we're gonna do is first thing we're gonna do is picture. We're gonna do a picture. Then we're gonna eat. Second of all, let me also say this. Being on a mission one day. But hold on, wait, first of all, first thing first, everybody in here, if you are not on the path, if you do not own your home, make sure you see one of my team members so that we can put you on the pathway to home ownership. I don't care what your credit is, I don't care if you're filing taxes, I don't care if you got child support, whatever the case is, we're gonna get you out of that situation and get you into a home, okay? So everybody in here, if you do not own a home, make sure you see us at my turn. So we want to once again thank the Dana Dane Show Barbershop. Let's go ahead and do a group. Everybody, where you want to be at? Can everybody come this way to do a group picture? Then we gonna eat, and then y'all can network. Come on, group picture. Everybody this way.
See you next week.
Peace and love. Nice. Next week.